Hey everybody, it's me Margaret, and I'm coming at you today with two types of giveaways. We've got a book destash, and we've got the typical Knitcrate giveaway that I do just about every other month. I receive my Knitcrates for free, and what I end up doing is kind of splitting them with you. So throughout the year, my 12 Knitcrates, I'll generally give 6 of them away. Sometimes I do them in groups, and sometimes I just spur of the moment, putting them up, and here we go. This is August Knitcrate, and we'll get to that in a minute. Probably because it's most familiar. What I want to talk about right now are these destash books. Now, as you may or may not know, I'm moving in the spring, and so we've been culling things, and I'm on a spending freeze. I can't buy any more craft supplies. And as I looked through these books, I showed you some of them in a few videos back, I think it was. And I said, I'll give them to you if you pay shipping, but I couldn't figure out how to make that all work out. Well, we had great suggestions in the description box, in the comment section, of how to do this, and that would be the book rate. So this portion is open only to U.S. citizens because our U.S. Postal Service provides us with something called a book rate. So I can ship one book for, say, $5. Roughly speaking. Each book weighs a little bit different. So what we'll do, and by the way, I tried to reach out to some of the people who had said in those previous videos, oh, I'd like the Afghan book, or I'd like the whatever book. I'll be happy to pay postage. I tried to reach back, and then I didn't hear anything. So I don't think working in the comment section is the way to go for that. And plus, I wasn't officially doing it because I hadn't worked out what would be a fair price for the shipping, because that's all I want you to pay for is the shipping. Let me show you what these books are and see if you're interested in any of them. And if you are, there'll be a form to fill out, and that way I can contact you without asking you to put your email address publicly down in the comment section below. I don't want you to do that. So I figured out a way for you to submit it to me privately. So we'll go from there as a first come, first served basis. If I don't hear from the first person, I'll go to the next person. But basically consider $5 shipping for each book that you order, because weight determines the factor there. And I'll be doing that strictly through PayPal or Venmo, as that's the safest way to transmit money between people who don't know one another. So come look over my shoulder and I'll show you what these books are. So the first one is called Unexpected Afghans, Innovative Crochet Designs with Traditional Techniques by Robin Chichula. She's pretty famous in the crochet world. Here's what the back looks like. Now, as far as being unexpected designs, I'm going to have to say that I don't find them to be so. The reason, not that I dislike them, I think they're all beautiful designs in here. I think that each one is a winner. The problem is I don't make Afghans. Have you ever seen me make a big Afghan? I just can't do big projects like this. So for those of you who are interested in big projects, I think it would be a great book. So there's that one. It was originally $22.95, but just $5 for shipping and handling. Now the next thing I have here is something I fell in love with, and it was on such demand. It was one of those impulse buys. It kept selling out, and all of a sudden it came back in. You had to buy it from Simplicity's website. It came back in, and I was just like, oh, I've got to have it. So I bought it, but guess what? I've never used it. Now what it is a planner. So let me show you. Just a regular type of planner. And you can also use it to design or save notes from your sewing projects, and it has little tips in it and things like that, to-do lists, birthdays, just a regular planner as well. But what I love so much about it are the vintage pictures. They had wonderful, they're from patterns, they're from old Simplicity patterns, and I just, look, there, it tells you how old, which one it was and what the pattern was back then, so maybe you could even find them on eBay if you fall in love with them. Here's a little glossary of different things, but oh my goodness, these clothes on in here, I love the 50s. And those things, but I just got the biggest charge out of it. And I was going to use this to keep all my sewing projects. I don't do that. I don't know. I've never been that organized. I don't know what I was thinking. And I use my phone for my planner stuff. Look, it has stickers in there. So for those of you who love to do planners, boy, this would be great. So I'm going to part with it. I had visions of taking some of these pictures out and framing them for my craft room, my sewing room, but alas, I did not. So it's in perfect shape, has never been used. I think I paid $25 for this thing, and it would be great for somebody. Oh, and the date's in there. It's not dated. So, you know, you could use it for in a year. So, there you go. Now, next we have this. It's called Origami Home, and actually it teaches you how to build little pieces of furniture or whatever, but that's not why I bought it. I bought it because it had all these papers in here that I thought were so neat that I could use for something. Most of them are glossy, which are really nice. Wait, is this a picture of all the papers? No, that's just a big one right there. And then it has all the different instructions on how to do some of these cute things, which would be fun. It would also be a great project if you've got kids home for the summer, for holidays, for something like that. It's just a really good, quiet, rainy day activity. So that's pretty awesome. So, book with papers. And of course the book could be reused with any kind of paper. But there you go. Then we have this one, Custom Crocheted Sweaters. Now this is the line that got me. Make garments that really fit. The reason I have never done crocheted sweater is because I don't want to put all this work into it and then not have it fit. Not to mention the fact that it is a big project, and I just run out of steam with long-term projects. But this is the book if you want to learn how to do that. It tells you all kinds of lessons basically on how to learn to crochet sweaters, and I like the styles in here. Some crochet sweaters tend to have kind of a hokey look, like a, I don't know, like your granny made back in 1950 and she passed it down to you or something like that. These are not. These are good classic sweaters that I think anybody would want to wear today. It says on the back here, alter patterns to enhance your figure and your creativity. You'll learn how to take accurate body measurements and then alter the pattern accordingly. Understand schematics to select proper size, swatch to obtain reliable gauge, use great shaping techniques, and choose appropriate yarn and fiber. So I was convinced I was going to be able to do it, but alas, I never made one thing out of this whole book. And I paid about $22.95 for this book as well. Beautiful, brand new, never used. The next thing I've got here is the Knitter's Journal. See, it comes with a little elastic that keeps it closed because the idea is to keep swatches and little notes and things like that in it. I love the idea of this book. I really thought that I was going to fill it out. Besides having resources and references, you know, for how to read, you know, different things and patterns or whatever. And it tells you, for planning, it kind of helps you look ahead to plan your projects. You know, like, okay, let's say today I'm filming this in September. So we might want to look ahead. All right, we know what comes in September, of course, so let's look ahead. We know Halloween's coming up. We know different events in the yarn world that happen yearly. But it's important to say, okay, look, I think I might want to make a silly turkey hat or something for Thanksgiving, or, you know, a Veterans Day decoration or something like that. It helps you to plan ahead. Speaking of projects and planning, this is where you actually do this. Now, of course, Ravelry lets you do things like this, keep your things on inventory or whatever, but many people have learned that digital is great, but they really like to have a hard copy of things. This is knitting design paper. It is slightly different from graph paper that you buy at the store. And so I never considered myself a knitting designer per se, but what I like to do is kind of tweak patterns, which I think most of us do, and this is perfect for when you do that. Of course, you can make a little swatch, keep it in there to, you know, reference what you did or what worked or what didn't work. Designs and notes for all of that. But it has several of them in here, which are just so clever. I just really liked it. Then, in the back here, you've got ways to, this kind of makes me laugh, it's your yarn stash. My yarn stash would not fit in this thing, but for projects, it would be awesome. And then, of course, a nice little zipper bag here in the back. I always thought that this would be so cool to pass down to somebody. You know, you could say, oh, these are some favorite things that I did, or maybe projects somebody did for their grandchild or whatever, and then later it was handed to them. This is how it was created by Grandma's hands. I don't know, I just really thought that would be cool. But anyhow, there's that, the Knitter's Journal. Oh, and I'm not sure this is even available anymore. I'm going to have to check the link again, but the link I had earlier provided does not work. So this could be a one-of-a-kind thing. Now, I had it in my head that I was going to teach myself to quilt. So I picked this up because it had small quilting projects in it. And I thought, oh, this will be the perfect way for me to start. And of course, it's got a lot of the basics in, you know, whatever, but holiday squares, yah. Well, I have learned I do not like to quilt. I don't like the math involved. I don't like how you have to be so precise. I am just not a real precise kind of person. So besides, I have my aunt who is an expert quilter, and she gives us the most wonderful quilts all the time, and I just adore them. And I want to use hers, not mine, you know, I don't know. I just, it's not me. So here's a book I have never used, even though I had the best of intentions, and I will happily part with it to someone who has better skills than I. This was a $23.95 book, so $5 shipping and handling, so to speak. Now here is the Knitcrate that I'll be giving away, and it is beautiful. This is Knitology Worsted Merino. Colorway is called Kestrel. It's 100% superwash merino wool. All Knitology yarns are made exclusively for Knitcrate. Now in every Knitcrate you get this little catalog of patterns, and this time the patterns for crochet are these, what do they call, leg warmers, and some crochet socks. And then for knit you have these socks here, Plumage Socks by Kim Driggs, and then you have this scarf or triangle scarf, or what do they call it, lakeside shawl, which is very pretty. The patterns are in this book, which I always think are so nice and handy. And then every Knitcrate you get a little extra, and here's some little Knitcrate stickers. Okay, so here's how it works. If you're interested in one of these books, look in the description box below this video and you will find a link that'll take you to a little form to fill out where your email address can be kept private, only for you and for me to see. And of course, I'm not saving this for any marketing purposes or whatever, so there's that. I'll give you first come first served basis, and I'll give that person, after I contact them, about 24 hours to see the email and reply. If I don't hear from them, then I'm going to automatically go to the next person, and the first person lost the opportunity, and we'll square everything away through email. If you want to enter Knitcrate, then we'll do it the same way we always do. I'll use my random comment searcher to pick from a comment in the comment section below that answers the specified question. And the specified question for this Knitcrate is going to be, have you ever been on a spending freeze? And if so, were you successful? Tell me about it. I am trying not to buy anything else. We're trying to get rid of everything in this house as much as we can, so we don't have to move it cross country again. So I would love to know your experience with being on a spending freeze. So just leave that in the comment section below. I'll probably leave this video up for about a week and then we will pick the winner. So we'll talk to you soon. Good luck everybody. Bye. Oh, and it's important to note that I do pay the shipping on the Knitcrate. So just leave your comment answering the question below.